In the summer months, road repairs are one of those annoying realities of life in Maine, but every once in a while, Maine opens a brand new road.
That happened about 2 weeks ago in Brewer with one of the longest stretches of new highway in years. 207's Don Kerrigan went to see it because the new road already has quite a history.
This is a rare event.
On a perfect June day, it was the kind of celebration road builders like. Short and with a key moment.
2, 3.
And then what they've been working toward for years. Opening the 6-mile extension of I-395 in Brewer and Eddington, finally giving Downeast, Maine and Canada beyond something they've never had, a quick and easy connection to the interstate highway system.
This is a real highway system now that you can travel and be safe and all those things. So it's incredible. It's a big source of pride.
Eric Ritchie knows it well. He grew up in Washington County and is now the president of Sargent Corporation, the company that just finished building this new highway. It is the sort of project, he says, that even for them is surprisingly rare.
We travel all throughout the state of Maine, all throughout New England, but to have a large project like this in our backyard, literally in our backyard, is a rarity. We actually called it a unicorn project because it comes along once in a lifetime.
To understand the impact of this new road, officially called the I-395 Route 9 corridor, we have to step back a few decades to the mid-1980s when I-395 was built as a way to get truck traffic and tourist traffic from the interstate away from downtown Bangor and Brewer and on its way to Ellsworth and Bar Harbor.
What that did is move the truck traffic from literally the downtowns out on the section of 395 that was built in the 80s and spilled it out on 1A and 46.
Maine DOT Commissioner Bruce Van Note remembers when the problem showed up. Big truck traffic from Washington County and Canada coming up Route 9 had no easy way to reach 395.
And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to drive down there and go, this was not designed as a primary truck freight route. And how are you going to make that connection?
The arguments began in the early 1990s. Local residents complained about trucks and safety, but also didn't want another new road cutting through their land.
Rile people up, and it's the nature of the process. And I get that because the alternative is to keep all those trucks on all those places they shouldn't be instead of having a connection from a system perspective that makes not only this safer, but all those other roads where those trucks are coming off safer.
The debate raged locally and even in the state legislature. Finally, in 2018, the DOT chose a route and began designing the road. Then Sargent won the contract.
Sargent constructed the original portion of 395 in the mid-80s, opening the original stretch in 1986. Almost 40 years later, we stand here today finishing what we've started.
It's good. We had some top people on here working on this.
Yeah, quite a challenge.
Yes, it is quite a challenge.
And Scott Blanchard was given the job of building it. He's a project superintendent for Sargent. He took the engineers' designs and made them work on the ground.
You get used to it. It's got to get done, so you got to figure it out.
Yeah. That included building over and through a big swath of wetlands, requiring new materials and techniques to make a solid roadbed. Bridges had to be built, and even some houses had to be moved out of the way.
We've moved houses. Back on that big cut back there, we moved a brand new house. Brand new.
Summer and winter, over 3.5 years, they worked to get it done. This new stretch of road is also pretty high tech. At one spot, there is a weather station monitoring conditions not only in the air but on the pavement itself. And in another spot, there are weight sensors buried underneath the pavement to keep track of just how heavy the truck traffic is along this stretch of highway. For the Maine DOT, it's taken about 30 years and a whole lot of money, $107 million, much of it federal highway funds. The result, they hope, will be a lot less traffic on roads that can't handle it. It's about safety and quality of life, says the commissioner. And for an agency that spends most of its time fixing or rebuilding what we have, it was a very unusual chance to build an entirely new road.
It's rare, they're very expensive, we have limited resources. It has to be exception, not the rule, but sometimes you have to build stuff to make what you want and where you want to live better.
Now it's done, and on to the next one.
And yes, right now they are getting ready for that next one. The Department of Transportation is preparing to start building another new 6 miles of road in Aroostook County. It's part of a bypass around Presque Isle designed to get most of the heavy truck traffic out of the downtown of that city and make it better for pedestrians and local businesses.
They're doing final design work now, then going out to bid, meaning actual construction won't be starting for a while. We'll be right back with more 207.